reflects the government's attempt to tie benefits to inflation, preserving purchasing power for millions of Americans. How the COLA is calculated and why it's controversial. The method, CPIW and third-quarter inflation. The COLA is linked to the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPIW. The Social Security Administration compares the CPIW data for July, August, and September of the current year with the same months from the prior year to compute the adjustment. This year's announcement was delayed slightly due to a U.S. federal government shutdown that disrupted routine data collection and reporting processes, particularly those managed by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. Despite that disruption, the BLS assured that the September CPI would be published in time for the COLA decision. Criticism and alternate indices. Many critics argue that CPIW is ill-suited to reflect the spending patterns of retirees. Older Americans tend to devote a larger share of their budgets to medical care, housing, utilities, and prescription drugs, categories that tend to rise faster than average inflation. Advocacy groups and some lawmakers have long pushed for adoption of the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, CPI, a measure that weights more heavily the kinds of expenditures typical of older populations. Supporters argue that a CPI-based COLA would better preserve retirees' real purchasing power. Others, however, caution that switching indices could accelerate the growth of Social Security costs and worsen the program's long-term fiscal challenges. Reaction and concerns. Pushback from seniors advocates. Many senior advocacy organizations and retirees immediately protested that 2.8% is insufficient to keep up with the real increases in living costs. A survey by AARP found that 77% of older adults believed even a 3% increase would not be enough to manage rising expenses. As one critic put it, the adjustment is meager in light of surging costs for essentials. Financial strain on the Social Security system. The COLA decision comes amid mounting concerns about the long-term solvency of Social Security. Analysts project that, unless Congress acts, the program's trust fund may be depleted by the early 2030s. Estimates suggest that benefit payments might need to be cut by 20 to 25% if no reforms are legislated. Some policymakers and budget watchers argue that even a 2.8% COLA may exacerbate the system's financial gap and have proposed mechanisms like capping COLA increases for high-benefit recipients. Others counter that freezing or undercutting COLAs would betray the program's promise to current and future beneficiaries. What's ahead? Advocacy and legislation. There is pressure for Congress to consider index reform.